What if every time you cross a doorway, your mind quietly deletes something you meant to remember? Like a thief who only steals one thought at a time. And what if the voice narrating this moment isn't reporting reality, but editing it? The door, event boundaries. Push it open. A hinge sighs, your thought stumbles. Researchers call this the doorway effect. When we pass a boundary, the brain updates the episode, and details from the previous room become less accessible. Like closing one tab and opening another. It's not superstition. Experiments in virtual buildings found recognition drops right after crossing thresholds. Later work shows it's not every door, but event boundaries moments the mind decides. A new chapter starts here. The architecture isn't just wood and plaster. It's cognitive bookkeeping. The corridor, scene mapping. Walk the memory hallway. Frames along the wall rearrange as you pass. Places, faces, angles of light. Deepen the temporal lobe. The parahippocampal place area fires. For scenes and spatial layouts. The skeleton key your mind uses to recognize where. A few steps away, the retrosplenial cortex translates rooms into maps, linking landmarks to the story of where you've been and where you're going. Space is the scaffolding your memory hangs its coats on. The Echo Room Auditory Afterglow. Say your name. Now, stop. Hear the ghost of it linger. That tale is echoic memory. A 2 to 4 second acoustic afterimage that lets the brain stitch the end of one sound to the start of the next. Your thoughts echo too. A corridor whispers, giving attention time to choose what matters before it fades into the floorboards. The blink, attention's shudder. A projector rattles to life. Letters flash in a rapid stream. Your job is to catch 2 targets. You nail the first, then miss the second if it appears 200 generators later. That dip is the attentional blink, the mind shutter closing between frames to process what just hit. Meanwhile, whole paintings change while you look straight at them, and you don't notice. Change blindness and its cousin, inattentional blindness. Hello, invisible gorilla. Reveal a brutal fact. You don't see everything. You see what your task lets through. The corridor flickers. The doors multiply. The editor, inner voice, and the default scene. Listen to the narrator in your head. Neuroscience suggests that when you prepare to speak, or even rehearse inner speech, your brain sends a corollary discharge to auditory cortex, damping the expected sound of your own voice. It's a predictive edit, a hush that separates me from not me. At rest, the default mode network hums. Self-talk, daydreams, mental time travel. The studio where your editor cuts and splices the day into something that feels continuous. The voice isn't just describing the rooms, it's repainting them mid-sentence. The archive, time cells, and rewriting. Down the stairs, a vault. On the shelves are moments preserved in amber. Until you touch them. In the hippocampus, time cells fire in sequence, tagging the order of events. So memory becomes a timeline, not a jump drawer. But the timeline isn't granite. Reactivate a memory, and it can enter a labial state. Reconsolidation. Vulnerable to edits before it hardens again. You pull an old scene. A margin note appears that wasn't there before. The archive is alive, The keys on the table. Identity in motion. Back at the entrance hall, a bowl waits. You swear you dropped your keys there. Maybe you did in the previous room. The episode before this one. Your identity often feels like the house itself. Fixed, brick upon brick. But today it feels like a route. Stitched by boundaries. Mapped by places. Echoed by after sounds. Blinked into focus by attention. Narrated by a voice that edits as it speaks. The self isn't the wallpaper. It's the tour. You think you've been wandering a strange building. Here's the twist. The building has been wandering you. The doors were event boundaries. Your brain erected on the fly. The corridor was place and retrosplenial circuitry, turning images into orientation. The echo room was auditory sensory memory. Bind your thoughts a few extra seconds. The blink room showed that attention is a key. With a narrow blade, most locks go unpicked. The editor used predictive signals to rewrite the soundtrack before you heard it. And in the archive, time cells strung the scenes. Then let you rewrite them upon recall. You never left your mind. You just visited its rooms. On your next doorway, notice the micro-amnesia. Plant a thought right after you cross. Watch how it sticks. When a conversation echoes, catch the tail. When you miss the second target in the visual hail, forgive your blank. And when your inner voice starts editing the scene, kindly ask it to leave a draft. Identity isn't the house. It's the floor plan you redraw each time you decide which door to open next.